السلام الوطني لجمهور
The Egyptian national anthem.
أصحاب الجلالة
Your Majesties, Royal Highnesses, Your Excellencies, Kings, Princes, and Presidents, ladies and gentlemen, honorable participants, we welcome you all here on the soil of good Egypt, Egypt the history, Egypt the present, Egypt the future. Welcome on the land of civilizations and the source of humanity, the land of forgiveness, with its intellectual history and its promising, looking forward to a future that is fit to its greatness. Egypt that was described by Herodot 5 years before BC, that it is the gift of the Nile. And the Nile is flowing throughout history, irrigating the story of civilization. Our Jesus Christ has said, "Blessed are the people of Egypt," and hence came the great people of Egypt, a symbol of our sacrifices for the sake of peace. And the Quran was ordered, said, "Enter Egypt with the will of God in safety." Today, and from here, we are about to create Egypt the future, a state that is youthful. It is a modern country. It is a strong country. It is a country strong with its history, with its civilization, with the greatness of its location and the authenticity of its people. Egypt welcomes its honorable guests. Welcome to you. Welcome to you, always partners in development and calling for and supporting for the future of Egypt. Now, honorable delegates and participants, we inaugurate the conference for the support and the enforcement of the policy with the statement of the President of the Republic of Egypt, President Abdel-Fattah El-Sisi.
شكرا جزيلا.
Thank you. Thank you greatly. Please be seated. In the name of God Almighty, the Compassionate. Your Majesties, Your Excellencies, Your Royal Highnesses, ladies and gentlemen, honorable guests of Egypt, it is a pleasure for me to welcome you today, all of you, in the name of the people and government and people of the Republic of Egypt. Welcome you with welcoming the partners of development in the new Egypt, those who have common visions in order to work together in order to realize the prosperity and the development of humanity. For those who are meeting today for the sake of having a role in providing stability and prosperity, for a people who is aspiring for development, seeking prosperity, welcome you all here in the conference of support and the reinforcement of the Egyptian economy, Egypt the future. Egypt has always found from its Arab brethren positions that prove real fraternity, real friendship. Our meeting today is nothing but a special result of sincere efforts exerted by the late, and may God bless his soul, His Majesty King Abdullah ibn Abdulaziz. Through his kind call to convene this conference, and it is not strange for the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, under the leadership of the custodian of the two holy shrines, King Salman ibn Abdulaziz. That those would be the honorable positions towards its brethren. That is a methodology that has been drafted by its co-founders of the kingdom and followed by all the princes and followers. I also extend my great gratitude and appreciation for all the efforts that have been exerted by the United Arab Emirates. Under the leadership of Sheikh Khalifa bin Zayed Al Nahyan, represented today with the honorable presence of His Excellency Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, Vice President and the Prime Minister and the ruler of Dubai, in order to contribute in the development of Egypt and the realization of the prosperity of its people. I say to the leadership of the brotherly people of United Arab Emirates, the Egyptian people have witnessed your sincere feelings and your deep commitment towards the economy of Egypt. As for the state of brotherly Kuwait, acts always preceded the words to indicate its deep relationship, its continued support for Egypt and its people. And the presence of Sheikh of Kuwait attending this conference, the adding value to the essence of Arab fraternity and brotherhood. And on this occasion, I wish to express my deep gratitude and appreciation for His Majesty, the Monarch of Jordan, and His Majesty, the King of Bahrain, for their constant standing on the part of Egypt and its people, an expression of the deep fraternity from their country towards Egypt, which found from them every support. We extend full gratitude and appreciation to all our brothers, the kings and presidents of all the Arab countries, and we are honored by their presence today, and all those who have delegated representatives. Ladies and gentlemen, This moment witnesses a high-level participation and a distinguished presentation on the part of the International Friends of Egypt, governments, organizations, and peoples. And to them, I express our deep gratitude and appreciation in my name and in the name of the people of my country. I wish to underline to you that the translation of this participation into joint ventures and investments would realize mutual benefits for both parties. It's not confined only to a big contributor towards development and economic progress, yet it extends to include further deep and deeper meanings and dimensions. They contribute, no doubt, in the realization of social justice and limiting the disparities among the different sectors of the society, in addition to the contribution to providing employment opportunities to the youth, the Egyptian society, which represents a population about 1/4 of the population of the Middle East. Its stability, it's a basic foundation for the stability of the region. It is a young society, and we should exploit their creative capabilities in the interest of stability and the welfare of the people. This is the all-out development sought by Egypt, which takes firm steps on the different courses and at different levels, realizing a balanced development that is fair and just and would be in the interest of the establishment of a modern state that would not only take its place from the greatness of its history and its great relics, but takes pride in its presence and its future and looks forward to a promising future for its people and youth. This would provide a model for the Arab and Islamic civilization with its tolerant and real beliefs and pivots, a country that would denounces all terrorism and fanaticism, a country that would reinforce stability and regional stability, would defend its neighbors, would defend and not attack, respect all parties, confident that any differences are a means to get acquainted, and would enrich the civilization of humanity. I will repeat this once again, if you allow me. That paragraph will be repeated. Egypt would provide a model for Arab and Islamic civilization with its tolerant and real aspects, a country that would disdains terrorism and fanaticism. A state that would enforce stability and regional security, respect its neighbors, defend and does not attack, accepts and respects others, and confident that differences is a means to get acquainted and enrichment for modern and human civilization. Ladies and gentlemen, the Egyptian people throughout history has contributed in the defense of his own homeland and his Arab and Islamic homeland. Egypt has continued to be the first defense line on many of the dangers that surrounded the region. And this great, noble people are continuing the epic of its strife and gives a great model, an example of shouldering the responsibility through adherence to the qualities of the Egyptian state and defending it, through understanding the economic decisions that were necessary to be taken in order to provide a better economic reality. All my greetings and appreciation to the people of my country. Greetings and appreciation for the people of my country that aspire to reinforce their partnership with the friendly countries to Egypt, and which aspire for taking many positive steps at the economic and social levels, through creating the necessary transformation in the methodology of running the Egyptian economy and realizing the better and optimum use of the resources, and entrenching a partnership that is social and shouldering responsibilities while providing protection for the fragile societies. Those are the dreams of the Egyptian people, legitimate dreams and righteous aspirations that would be turned into realities through our constant acts and action and our devotion to our duties, and with the partnership and the participation of our Arab and international partners. The Egyptian economy is not sufficed with the giant and mega projects that are being undertaken, but is directing freely for supporting the economy that is deeply interested in a free economy and a better future. And within this framework, Egypt has laid down a sustainable development plan that is long-term until 2030, which aims at the building of a new and modern democratic society based on production, open to the whole world. And that strategy has been laid down according to the plan and methodology with the participation of the private sector and the social societies. Those have taken part in laying down the strategy in order to guarantee the application of the programs and the policies and the different initiatives that will be adopted in order to realize those objectives. To realize those economic objectives, and allow me here to review the different basic pivots upon which our methodology is based to realize development. The first pivot is the restoration of the mega economy of the state based on the policies that would safeguard the restoration of the financial balance through limiting the state deficits and entrenching the taxation fair distribution among the societies. And this would be followed by a financial policy that preserve national and general stability of prices in balance with the rate of growth. Domination of inflation and limiting it as a result of the implementation of the first stage of the subsidy reform in the field of the energy. And that was followed by the drop in the energy prices, particularly in the field of foodstuffs. All those measures stem from our deep conviction that the realization of stability in the mega economy is a basic condition to preserve the confidence of the interest of the private sector and to realize economic stability. We are fully aware that the reform process should reach its aspired to targets until we have an escalated rate of growth, which has proven to have developed for the first quarter of the present year. And this underlines that Egypt is taking strides towards the right path. The second pivot is the improvement of the investment climate and to attract investments through the implementation of a bundle of legislative reforms and essential important reforms, and adopting pioneer steps in order to tackle all the impediments that impede the private sector and foreign investors. Adoption of clear-cut policies that would safeguard equal opportunities within the framework of transparency and the rule of law. And that has included the drafting or the promulgation of the Unified Investment Law and the one-window policy and the improvement of the investment services in order to facilitate for all investors and provide an attractive climate for Arab and foreign investors. Also, provide an opportunity for the tackling of many investment disputes in a cordial manner, and the Egyptian government is committed to pay all the dues of all foreign corporations. Egypt has never was reluctant in fulfilling its international commitments. In addition to the reforming of competitive laws and the monopoly in order to get a better competitive market, in a matter that would contribute to the realization of comprehensive development in the implementation of the plan for the improved rate of growth that would exceed 6% at least during the next 5 years, in keeping with dropping unemployment to the rate of 10%. The third pivot, the national projects and the ambitious sectoral plans in the different fields, and which realize development and provide employment opportunities, and at the same time would provide promising effects for the investors. The government has laid down a clear investment that is liable to implementation in the field of energy and has projects in the field of electricity and has started already those projects not only to cover local consumption but also to meet the ever-increasing demand in the field of investment on energy. Namely, that long-range strategy is long-term and is not only related to providing the needs at the moment, but in the future as well. Would provide a stable climate that's sustainable for investment. In addition to all this, we would have an administrative plan for providing provinces which has taken into consideration the economic and social dimensions. It aimed at the creation of a desert phenomena for the different provinces and governors, and in keeping with the population for an industrial, agricultural, and urban development, in addition to new borders for the governorates so that they would reach the Red Sea shores and the Mediterranean in order to provide opportunities for exports. The private sector will take part in the first stage through the project for the development of the deepening and of the Suez Canal, and in the second stage of the project, that is to develop the area of the canal zone and provide investment opportunities for the private sector in a giant project that would reinforce the strategic location of Egypt, which is an axis between Europe, Africa, and Asia. It has started the first stage of the national project for the reclamation of 4 million fattans, in addition to a large number of projects that are for development on a long term and with a great impact. The Gold Triangle project, the modernization of the roads and networks, and the marines, and the new airports and new ports, tourist zones through new and renewable energies, and the treatment of the sewage system and the management of waste. All those projects are great scopes for the partnership and the participation of the private sector in a matter that called on for the development of the relationship between the private and public sector and encouraging a free economy, respect for all contracts in order to provide the necessary protection for the rights of the investors. The necessary care that would be directed for the workers while providing the rights of the society without attacking one side on the other, a matter that would entrench the participation of the community in the development and the growth of Egypt, the future. Ladies and gentlemen, the realization of sustainable development and the credibility of the state towards comprehensive development is based on complete commitment on the part of the government to go forward through the policies and programs that are aimed at pushing forward the wheel of investment, increasing further scopes in order to have more promising markets, and recreating economic balance. It is also necessary for us to implement all those plans in isolation from the necessary interest in the social dimension. We are confident that Egypt, the future, cannot be realized without a great leap towards the field of human development, a matter that we are seeking through justice and social justice. On the short run, we are working for providing systems for social protection in order to alleviate the results and impact of financial reforms on the fragile. But at the long term, we are focusing on the human resources and through the necessary reform policies and through the resources. Those have included the necessary procedures that are undertaken at the present time within this framework, reform of the system of subsidies in order that the subsidy would reach those who deserve it, and to organize a system of main staples to encourage youth and women in order to develop their abilities in addition to those of special needs, while providing social services in order to raise the level of the individual. Interest in human development through commitment, through our constitutional reforms that would provide further resources in order to add to the education system, scientific research and health, and realize sustainable, comprehensive, balanced development. The importance that we attach to the youth of Egypt in our social dimension, in our reform and economic policies, is based on the competitive advantage of the Egyptian economy and for the whole Egyptian society at large. Statistics have proven that the population of Egypt under the age of 40 exceeds 2/3 of the population of the whole of Egypt. Of them, we have about 30 million are at the age of employment. Egypt is a youthful country. It is resulting to the means of communication and social activities and new innovations in order to be able to render services to its youth. Ladies and gentlemen, the great diversification that characterizes the Egyptian economy safeguards that we can interact fruitfully with the aspirations of all investors in the different sectors. I wish to underline and affirm to all our brothers and friends and all partners, we are committed to go forward in the development and the modernization of the foundation of Egyptian economy and create the different means that would safeguard constructive cooperation among all parties that would be beneficial to all. I wish to direct my invitation to all partners and all research institutions to find real investment opportunities. Once again, I direct my invitation to all corporations, all institutions, and all who are seeking serious investment to get acquainted more about the different advantages that are provided by the attractive climate of investment in Egypt, and to interact and cooperate with the Egyptian businessman sector in a matter that would realize the best returns for both sides and exploit the great geographical situation and heritage of Egypt and the wide-ranging network of fraternal and cordial relationships that combine us with the different regions that we belong to in the Arab homeland, in Africa, in the Mediterranean, with whom we are linked with several fields of cooperation, rapprochement, and economic trade agreements. A matter that makes of Egypt a window towards the Arab world, and it's a portal to Africa. It is a path towards Europe. The march of Egypt towards the future will continue, and it will accelerate with firm steps, confident in God, confident in the homeland, in our deep political efforts, our real wish in order to constantly work until we reach the objectives for which we have started our march. Egypt, while stepping towards the future, is open to the whole world. It welcomes all partners, all investors that seek to make use of the opportunities that are available, a matter that would provide a good opportunity for the Egyptians for a noble life, productive life, prosperity and welfare for Egypt and for the region. I ask you to take part with me in expressing my deep gratitude for the brothers who have worked with us sincerely so that we were able to convene this conference, particularly Dr. Ibrahim Al-Assaf, the Minister of Finance in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Dr. Sultan Al-Gaib, Minister of State of the United Arab Emirates. In addition to the team of the Egyptian workers. I will ask you my permission to pay tribute to the investors in Sharm el-Sheikh. Also, I wish to mention our people from Sinai, in the south of Sinai. With full confidence that their efforts and your participation will make of this meeting, our encounter, a landmark on the march of the new Egypt towards a better future. In conclusion, allow me to direct to you once again, in my name and in the name of the people of Egypt, every greetings and appreciation for your participation and your presence among us. And allow me again to say to you that the Egyptian people, the steadfast people, the patient people, the great noble people, with the will of God and with the gratitude from God and your participation, you will find Egypt as always in security, in safety, and the whole region in safety and security.
تحيا مصر.
Long live Egypt. Long live Egypt. Long live Egypt. Peace and blessings from Allah. Thank you.
Egypt